أن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن خير الكلام كلام الله سبحانه وتعالى، وخير الهدى هدى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. And what was collected by Imam al-Bukhari, a Muslim, on the authority of that scholar from the companions, Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with all of them. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم: لا تقوم الساعة حتى تضطرب الياد نساء دوس حول ذي الخلصة. He said one of the signs of the hour is that Yawm al-Qiyamah will not be established. It's not going to happen until a group of women from the Muslim Arabic tribe called a dos. They're going to shake their hips around a set of idols that the Nabi called sallallahu alaihi wasallam Vu al-Khalasa. Some people from this ummah are going to make and create some idols, and the women from that particular tribe, and it's an Arabic tribe present right now in the Arabian Peninsula, they're going to go to that place and they're going to shake their hips at that particular place doing worship for it. This hadith, as I mentioned, was collected by Imam al-Bukhari, a Muslim. So the two scholars who gave the explanation of the ahadith in those two books, they said that the ulama of al-hadith have different interpretations. What does it mean that they're going to shake their hips? They said one of the meanings is that they're going to do what the women of Quraysh did in the days of al-Jahiliyyah, when they used to go to the Kaaba, and the lady would take off her clothes and she would show the front part of her private area or the back part of her private area, or both of them, and she would dance and strut around in front of the Kaaba saying poetry, believing that she had ikhlas. Some of the other scholars said the meaning of it is that they're going to travel long distances on camels and horses, and the way that the camel and the horses move, it will cause their hips to move, because they'll be going to pay homage to that place of shirk and kufr, although they connect themselves to the ummah of al-Islam and the dawah of Tawheed. They're going to go to make hajj at that place. Some of the scholars said the meaning of the women shaking their hips is that when they make tawaf around that place where there are idols, it's going to be so many of them that they're going to be rubbing against each other. Whatever the interpretation is, the main goal and the objective of the kalam of the Nabi is not the hips of the women sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but it is him telling us that a group of people from this ummah are going to fall into clear, blatant shirk. And the Nabi told the truth sallallahu alaihi wa ala alihi wasallam. In another authentic hadith, he told the people sallallahu alaihi wa ala alihi wasallam, لا يذهب الليل والنهار حتى يعبد اللات والعزى. Yawm al-Qiyamah will not be established until Al-Lat and Al-Uzza, two of the gods and the idols of the people of Jahiliyyah, they're going to come back and they're going to be worshipped by people from this ummah. Our mother Aisha, who narrated the hadith, and the Nabi said this to her, radiyallahu anha wa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, she thought it was amazing because she never made shirk with Allah, and she saw how Al-Islam began to prevail before the death of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She saw how much emphasis Allah put on Tawheed. She saw how much emphasis the Rasul, her husband, her teacher, her Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how much emphasis he put on Tawheed. So she thought it was weird that these two gods from the times of Al-Jahiliyyah are going to come back. She said, how is that going to happen, Ya Rasulullah, when Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. Allah is the one who sent his Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the religion of truth, so that it will be proclaimed and raised above all other religions, even if the people of Shirk detest it and they hate it. How is it that the people are going to go back to worshiping Al-Lat and Al-Uzza? The Nabi told her sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yes, that's right. Allah did send his Nabi and his Rasul with the religion of truth. And the people are going to be on that truth for some time. During his time, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. During the time of the companions after him. And the tabi'een, the atba' tabi'een. And then it continuously gets weak and weak and weak until we come to the time now where people are going to go back to worshiping Al-Lat and Al-Uzza. Although Allah sent his Rasul with the religion of truth that makes shirk clearly out of the religion of Islam. So all of those issues, ikhwani, they're from what the Nabi told us sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In another hadith he says sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam, لا تقوم الساعة حتى تلحق قبائل من أمتي بالمشركين وحتى تعبد الأصنام والأوثان. The hour will not be established until certain tribes from my ummah. And he didn't specify those tribes as being only Arabs. Tribes from Africa, tribes from Asia, tribes from all over the world. He said the hour won't be established until certain tribes from my ummah will catch up, and they will be like the mushrikeen, the people of shirk and kufr. And until the people start worshipping awthan and asnam, the people from this ummah are going to start worshipping idols, objects that have been created by mankind, and they're going to worship them. All of these issues, they go to show as we move forward and Yawm al-Qiyamah gets closer, and we look around living in America and in Europe, and we look at Ahlul Kitab and we look at the non-Muslims, we see all of the technological advances that are taking place all around us. But guidance, Ummah to Islam, is not in all of this technology. As the people move forward, they'll get further and further away from Tawheed. Even the people of Al-Islam. And no one sitting here in this masjid is exempt, especially in light of the fact with all of the technology that's around us, with all of what we have to deal with. We're being assaulted left, right, and center every day, during the day, during the night, in the summer, in the winter, when it's raining, when it's dry. We're being assaulted in our aqidah, and we're becoming people who are easily desensitized to the danger of this issue that the Nabi talked about sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah mentioned to Ahlul Kitab, who are the uppermost. They're in the race. They're the ones who are ahead of everybody in terms of technology, and other than that, science. They're in the head of the race. Allah told them in the Quran about this guidance, that the guidance is not in that. That the guidance is in the Kitab and the Sunnah. And he said to the Ahlul Kitab, قَدْ جَاءَكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ نُورٌ وَكِتَابٌ مُّبِينٌ يَهْدِي بِهِ اللَّهُ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ رِضْوَانَهُ سُبُلَ السَّلَامِ وَيُخْرِجُهُم مِّنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ بِإِذْنِهِ وَيَهْدِيهِم مِّنَ الصِّرَاطِ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. This ayat is to Ahlul Kitab, and look how we deal with the ayat. The ayat is telling Ahlul Kitab, verily there has come to you a nur from Allah, and there has come to you a book that makes things clear. By that nur and by that book, Allah Azza wa Jal guides any and everyone who wants his Ridwan, Anyone who wants to be pleased with Allah as well, and Allah pleased with him, then let him follow that nur and let him follow that kitab mubin. He guides them to the subul salam. He takes them out of the depths of the darkness of shirk and jahiliyyah and dhulm and fisq, and he brings them into the light of al-Islam by the permission of Allah, and he guides them to the sirat al-mustaqim. Now the people of this ummah take that ayat that Allah revealed for Ahl al-Kitab to tell them, come to your senses and come to the nur and come to the kitab al-mubin. The Muslims from this ummah, we come and we say that the nur in the ayat is the soul of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a proof that Allah Ta'ala created the Nabi from the nur of Allah. He is created from the nur of Allah. That's part of the shirk that the Nabi was talking about was going to happen to this ummah. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has nothing to do within himself with Allah Azza wa Jal other than he is a creation like everyone else, and everything else is a creation. He has nothing to do with Allah in that regard. Allah is Bayan, detached, disconnected from his creation. There is Allah and then there's the Alameen. He is the Rabbul Alameen. Allah and everything else in creation other than Allah is from the Alameen. The Nabi is not created from the nur of Allah. If we go back to the tafsir of the ayat, what Ibn Abbas said, what those scholars said of the tafsir of the ayat, they had varying positions. All of them are united. They said that the nur is the hadith of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The sunnah, not the embodiment, his person is not the nur. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he died, he went to sleep, he forgot, he's a human being sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But his sunnah, his words are nur. His words are guidance. His example is the guidance. He said to the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, proving that his words are nur. His hadith are nur. Just to listen to the hadith is nur. To follow the hadith is nur. To relay the hadith is nur. Not the Nabi is nur. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم ودعا لهم نضر الله امرئا سمع مقالتي وفي رواية سمع حديثي فوعاها وحفظها وبلغها كما سمع. May Allah put light on the face of the person who heard my hadith, he heard my statement, and then he memorized it the way he heard it, and he relayed it the way he heard it. So the nur of the ayat is talking about anyone who reads the hadith, follows the hadith, memorizes his sunnah, spreads his sunnah, defends his sunnah. Allah has sent a nurun min Allah. It's a light. And the Quran is the Quran in the ayah. Some other ulama said the meaning of nur here, the meaning of nur is that Allah told Ahlul Kitab, verily there has come to you a nur and a book. There has come to you a deen. There has come to you Ahlul Kitab a deen that will help you to navigate through all of this stuff that is causing people to compromise themselves in terms of why they've been created. The Nabi told the people sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inni taraktukum al-mahajjat al-bayda layluha kan-nahariha. I left you people on a religion that is white, is night, is like its day. So there came to the people a nur, meaning al-Islam, the religion, Ummat al-Islam, Ummat al-Islam. The importance of Tawheed in our religion is directly connected to everything about our existence. Everything that's going on in this last khutbah of this year, 2012. The last khutbah of this year. And no doubt, you don't have to tell me, the Islamic calendar is more important. The Islamic calendar is better. But whether this is the Islamic New Year or this New Year of the Gregorian calendar is irrelevant. The relevant point is the importance of a Tawheed cannot be something that is frowned upon and looked at as being a light issue. Especially in the light of the fact that, as I mentioned,